Menace to Society is a 1993 American teenhood drama film directed by Alan and Albert Hughes as their directorial debut. The storyline unfolds in Watts, Los Angeles, and traces the life of a young man, Katie Lawson, and his close companions. The narrative revolves around a youthful street hustler striving to break free from the challenges and allure of the ghetto in pursuit of a brighter future. Undoubtedly, the film Menace to Society stands out as one of the finest creations of the 1990s, etching a special place in our memories. The 1993 cinematic gem had a diverse cast, and in this video, we'll spotlight some of the cast members who have since passed away. On our channel, we showcase a variety of videos. Don't forget to show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more engaging content. Arnold Johnson. Arnold Johnson stands out as a prominent figure among the cast members of the 1993 film Menace to Society. Johnson skillfully portrayed the role of Grandpapa, leaving an indelible mark on the film with his distinctive acting prowess. The actor Arnold Johnson, who passed away at the age of 79, took center stage in the 1969 film Putney Swope. In a cinematic landscape dominated by Sidney Poitier's portrayal of a Nobel Prize-winning Black Prince Charming in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, Putney Swope emerged as a provocative alternative from the New York underground. Crafted by the white filmmaker Robert Downey, the film narrates the audacious takeover of a Madison Avenue advertising agency. Johnson brought to life the character of the brash and arrogant Putney, inadvertently elected chairman of the board. "I'm not going to rock the boat," declared Putney. "I'm going to sink it." The storyline unfolds with most of the white staff replaced by armed black militants sporting afros. Ultimately, Putney and his cohorts sink the boat, challenging stereotypes and revealing the complexities of human nature, transcending racial boundaries. Putney Swope defied Hollywood norms, presenting a wealthy black couple employing a white maid and a black employer rejecting white job applications. In Black Hollywood, 1975, African-American historian Gary Null acknowledged that Downey dared to treat blacks as full-fledged human beings. Born in Brooklyn and orphaned at 4, Johnson pursued drama at New York University, kickstarting his career in off-Broadway productions. Cast as Swope while still in New York, he later ventured to Hollywood for a supporting role in the 1971 box office hit Shaft, starring Richard Roundtree, a film that played a pivotal role in the blaxploitation trend. His filmography includes Pipe Dreams, 1976, alongside singer Gladys Knight, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich, 1977, John Schlesinger's Honky Tonk Freeway, 1981, Weeds, 1987, Sunset, 1988, Robert Townsend's The Five Heartbeats, 1991, and Menace the Second Society, 1993. On the small screen, Johnson had a recurring role in the 1973-77 NBC sitcom Sanford and Son, inspired by the BBC's Steptoe and Son. His television credits encompass Family Matters, Homefront Buddies, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Jeffersons, Highway to Heaven, Amazing Stories, and Matlock. Johnson is survived by his wife Betty Heater Johnson, 3 children from a previous marriage, and 3 stepchildren. Anthony Johnson. The comedian Anthony Johnson, another member of the Menace to Society movie cast, has left us. Johnson portrayed Tony in the film, adding a touch of humor with his comedic skills, enhancing the movie's appeal. Anthony Johnson, renowned for his roles in Friday and House Party, passed away due to the consequences of prolonged alcohol consumption. In the autopsy report disclosed 5 months post his demise at the age of 55, as obtained by TMZ, the medical examiner attributed Johnson's cause of death to chronic ethanol use, ruling it as accidental. The report clarified that no alcohol or common drugs of abuse were found in Johnson's system at the time of his passing. Additionally, the coroner's office indicated that Johnson tested positive for COVID-19, despite the absence of pneumonia symptoms. The revelation about Johnson's cause of death followed the distressing news in September that the comedian was discovered unresponsive and lifeless in a Los Angeles store. At that time, Johnson's nephew informed TMZ that he was rushed to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. Although the actor's representatives had confirmed his passing to the Rap, the cause of death was not disclosed then. According to the latest update, it was Johnson's widow, Lexis, who initially informed the medical examiner about her husband's struggles with alcohol. In light of the autopsy report, Lexis shared with TMZ her desire to publicize her husband's cause of death, hoping to aid others grappling with alcohol abuse. Lexis, having friends who lost loved ones due to alcohol, aims to use Johnson's passing as a cautionary tale about the deadly consequences of alcohol and wishes her husband's legacy to inspire others to put the bottle down. Since Johnson's demise, Lexis has devoted herself to volunteering at church, engaging with youth to discuss the perils of alcohol, a mission she has embraced. Born in Long Beach, California in 1965, Johnson commenced his journey in the entertainment industry in 1982. Nevertheless, it wasn't until 8 years later, in 1990, that he secured a significant opportunity, landing the part of Eazy-E in House Party. He proceeded to deliver stand-up performances across Los Angeles, concurrently featuring in productions such as Lethal Weapon 3 and Menace 2 Society, before securing his breakthrough role as Izal in the 1995 comedy Friday, alongside Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. The movie achieved commercial success, accumulating $27 million in global box office earnings. Johnson's film repertoire extends to House Party 3, How to Be a Player, I Got the Hook Up, Hot Boys, and I Got the Hook Up Too. Additionally, he accrued various television credits, including The Audacious and the Beautiful, Martin, Def Comedy Jam, South Central, The Parenthood, Moesha, Malcolm and Eddie, and The Jamie Foxx Show. James Stewart. James Stewart, widely recognized as George Bailey, is another ensemble member from the 1993 film Menace 2 Society. Jimmy Stewart, 89, a cinematic luminary with an iconic American persona and widespread appeal, whose roles as a film actor played a pivotal role in shaping national culture, passed away due to cardiac arrest at his Los Angeles residence. In a career spanning 5 decades, Stewart portrayed real-life heroes and everyday individuals, blazing trails as senators, lawmen, cowboys, military officers, politicians, businessmen, reporters, jesters, and sagacious figures. He embodied an idealistic young senator challenging the political establishment in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, 1939, portrayed Charles Lindbergh during the Atlantic Flight in The Spirit of St. Louis, 1957, and depicted band leader Glenn Miller meeting a tragic end in a World War II plane crash in The Glenn Miller Story, 1954. He showcased his cunning as a country lawyer, outsmarting urban slickers in Anatomy of a Murder, 1959, and portrayed a clown with a mysterious past, never wiping the painted smile off his somber face in The Greatest Show on Earth, 1952. For his supporting role as magazine reporter Macaulay Connors, starring opposite Katharine Hepburn in the high society film The Philadelphia Story, 1940, Stewart secured his first Academy Award. Additionally, he received an honorary Oscar from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in 1985. Stewart earned an Oscar nomination and the New York Film Critics Award for Best Actor of the Year in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, delivering one of the most memorable lines of his career. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for all your fancy rules if behind them they didn't have a little bit of plain, ordinary kindness and a little looking out for the other fella. In his personal favorite role, Stewart portrayed the civic-minded, yet tormented George Bailey, saved from suicide by his guardian angel in It's a Wonderful Life, 1947, now a classic Christmas perennial. His cinematic journey embraced mysteries, romance, comedies, and high drama, encompassing over 75 films, commencing in the 1930s, often regarded as the golden age of Hollywood. Stewart shared the screen with the leading actresses of his era, including Hepburn, Marlene Dietrich, Jean Harlow, Ginger Rogers, Jean Arthur, Carol Lombard, Joan Crawford, Claudette Colbert, Rosalind Russell, Grace Kelly, June Allison, and Kim Novak. Commencing in 1950, he initiated his evolution as the unflinching frontiersman in westerns like Winchester 73 and Broken Arrow, where he found love with an Apache maiden. He pursued outlaws, battled cattle rustlers, apprehended gun runners, and thwarted train robbers in films such as Bend of the River, 1952, Naked Spur, 1953, The Man from Laramie, 1955, The Far Country, 1955, and Night Passage, 1957. In contrast to the pristine wholesomeness portrayed in his earlier works, Stewart now traverses the plains with a day's worth of beard growth, often sporting disheveled attire. His trigger finger remains swift. Stewart portrayed a military hero in Strategic Air Command, 1955, and a law enforcement hero in The FBI Story, 1959. His Hitchcock thrillers included The Man Who Knew Too Much, 1956, and Vertigo, 1958. He engaged in a romance with an enchanting witch, played by Novak, in Bell, Book and Candle, 1958. Throughout the 1960s, Stewart significantly scaled back his work commitments. He embodied a frontier senator in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962. In another Western, The Shootist, 1976, he portrayed a small-town doctor informing John Wayne of his cancer diagnosis. In 1977, he appeared in Airport 77. However, his forays into television proved unsuccessful. In 1971, he assumed the role of a college anthropology professor in a sitcom crafted explicitly for him, The Jimmy Stewart Show, airing on Sunday nights on NBC. Unfortunately, the program garnered poor ratings. 2 years later, Stewart made another attempt, this time as a defense lawyer in a series named Hawkins, but it met a brief tenure. With advancing age, he grappled with health issues, including heart ailments and skin cancer, necessitating the use of a hearing aid. In 1989, he authored a book featuring a compilation of poems he had penned, achieving sales surpassing 300,000 copies. In a release from his California office, former President Ronald Reagan, Stewart's co-star in war training films, remarked about his fellow actor, "We were pleased to have the opportunity to present him with the Kennedy Center Honors in 1983 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1985. True to form, he accepted both with grace and humility." In 1949, Stewart wed Gloria Hattrick McLean. She passed away in 1994. The couple had twin daughters, Kelly and Judith. Additionally, there were 2 sons from her previous marriage to Edward McLean Jr., Michael and Ronald, who met his demise in action during the Vietnam War in 1970 while serving in the Marine Corps. Marilyn Coleman. Marilyn Coleman is another member of the cast who has passed away. Coleman, widely recognized as Grandmama by enthusiasts of the 1993 film Menace to Society. Marilyn B. Coleman was a scribe and a celebrated performer on Broadway, television, and the silver screen. She departed on Tuesday, June 25, 2013. She was 79. Born on March 23, 1934, to the belated Estella and Fred Bonaparte in Philadelphia. Coleman spent her formative years in Philadelphia and earned her diploma from Roxborough High School. An early high point involved participating in local talent competitions with her sibling Fred, who accompanied her on the piano. In one contest, she secured the Marian Anderson Award by rendering the theme from Madame Butterfly in fluent Italian. Coleman initiated her thespian journey at the Theater of Living Arts under the guidance of Andre Gregory. It was there that she crossed paths and collaborated with Roger Robinson, Sherman Hemsley of the Jeffersons, and her enduring comrade, Dolores Gaskins. PBS crafted a 2-hour documentary showcasing Coleman strolling through the streets of Philadelphia, conversing with the community and interacting with various gangs while spotlighting her vocal prowess. The documentary, titled Marilyn Coleman's North Philadelphia, clinched the Silver Medallion Award. Urged on by actor and co-founder of the Negro Ensemble Company, Robert Hooks and Hemsley, Coleman ventured into New York City to advance her career. Consequently, she delved into theater studies under the tutelage of the esteemed director, the late Lloyd Richards, making her debut in New York at the American Place, theater in productions like Five on the Black Hand Side and The Fabulous Marie. In 1966, Andre Gregory summoned her to L.A., where her portrayal of Doreen in Tartuffe earned her critical acclaim. Subsequently, Coleman evolved into a full-time actress, shuttling between the East and West Coasts, as well as international locales, in a career that spanned over 45 years on stage, celluloid, and television. Her Broadway accolades encompass Melvin Van Peebles' Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death, Ron Milner's What the Wine Cellars Buy, Don't Get God Started, and Langston Hughes's Mule Bone. Off-Broadway, she featured in the early works of the legendary Negro Ensemble Company in Ododo, the New Federal Theater in For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow is Enough, and various others. An acclaimed performer, Coleman garnered the L.A. Critics and Dramalogue accolades for her contributions to Steve Carter's production, Eden. At the Coliseum stage in Washington, D.C., she clinched the Helen Hayes Prize for Best Supporting Actress in Jar the Floor, a production that toured across the U.S. and London. Among her cinematic and TV achievements are roles in Searching for Mr. Finebar, Meteor Man, The Five Heartbeats, CB4, Menace II Society, Willie Dynamite, White Silhouette, The Love Cruiser, Vice Team, and Crafting Ladies. Despite achieving success, Coleman remained committed to the community, engaging in activities such as script writing, directing, and instructing theatrical arts to young minds in schools, seminars, and places of worship. A scholarship fund in her honor was established at Bloomsburg University for aspiring performers of color. Her initial child was born to her percussionist spouse, George Allen. Later, she tied the knot with ballad vocalist Earl Coleman, leading to the birth of 2 children. Marilyn's adaptability touched lives in myriad ways. As a vocalist, she evoked tears, an actress who breathed life into her characters, a director, poet, author, and educator who conveyed her sentiments authentically, an advocate for equity, and a grounded Christian fulfilling her God-given purpose with integrity, her family expressed. She is survived by her siblings, Fred and Sylvester Bonaparte. Offspring, Marcia Kia Koutsialis, Kevin Coleman, and Dana Davis, as well as 4 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. From the bottom of my virtual heart, thank you for being part of this community. Your comments, likes, and shares have made this channel a vibrant space for exchanging ideas and fostering creativity. I encourage you to continue the conversation in the comments section. Share your thoughts on what topics you'd like to see in future videos, and let's build an even more dynamic community. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Your support is the driving force behind the growth of this channel, and I'm excited about the adventures that lie ahead.